Hello everyone, and hello to 2021. This video is coming out a week or two later than I originally wanted it to. The last couple of years when I've done a hello to the new year video, I've released it like within the first week of the new year, but I filmed this video already and I hated it. So in an attempted chronological order, the first big exciting thing that happened in 2020 was the cast of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was announced. April 3rd, I released a video called The Future Looks Magical, and this was announcing that I had been cast in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which was super exciting because I had been sitting on that news until it eventually came out. However, the next big life event, quarantine! That was a thing that happened, eh? Anyone else? Throwback Thursday. Remember when the world got shut down due to a pandemic? This meant the closing down of essentially all theater globally. All theaters closed down. Toronto's theater is still very much closed. Some companies did some outdoor theater stuff. This was some more experimental works or just, Shakespeare in the Park kind of things. But for the most part, here in Canada, theater has been paused until who knows when. And that's the same for many of my friends out in Broadway. Things are closed down for them. I know folks out in the UK. The West End tried to reopen for a few weeks back in like November. They ran and they were open, and as far as I'm aware, there weren't any COVID cases traced back to the gathering for theater on the West End. However, the government shut that all down after a couple weeks. With the shutting down of theater, this meant that Harry Potter, which was scheduled to begin performances in October of 2020, that didn't happen. It's right now postponed. As of now, Harry Potter and Marish have made a statement that we're postponed until 2021. I'm eagerly waiting updates and news on the theater world, as I'm sure many other theater lovers and actors and artists are waiting on. With everything shutting down and with a large spike of cases in Toronto, I actually moved out of my apartment in the city, and I moved back up to live with my mom, my stepdad, and my brother and my dogs. I lived with them for about 5 months, from March until about July. A positive that came out of this year is I became much closer with many of my family members. While theater was postponed, this gave me time to get up to other things. I ended up discovering streaming on Twitch, which has been a phenomenal blessing. I started streaming on my PS4 just as I'll pass the time. Maybe I'll play Spider-Man and some friends might sit and watch. This could be fun. And then I moved on to Jedi Fallen Order, and then I played The Last of Us, and then I hit affiliate. I thought, why not invest a little bit of money into this and get myself a nice setup, to which I ended up buying parts and building a PC. I learned how to build a PC over quarantine. That was fun. I would have never thought I would have done. I'm literally looking at it right now. And even since building it back in, I think it was May, it really got to take the quality of my streams to a whole nother level. The community and the audience just grew even more. At this point in time, there are over 600 people following on Twitch, and we're growing every day. The Fletch fam is growing every day, and it's a lot of fun. I've met some phenomenal people from all over the world, whether they're out in Winnipeg or they're living in South Africa. Even here right in Toronto, I've met some really cool streamers who are also Toronto locals. I'm excited to meet some of you in person when all of this is over. In the next couple months, I will be streaming on Tuesday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights on my channel. Hopefully you can join us there sometime. The link to that is in the description. Another creative outlet for me was getting into poetry. I did a lot of poetry writing over different points. It wasn't consistent throughout the past. This is for a second I was like, what month are we on? How much time has passed? This is a year? We're not just talking about quarantine. I honestly forget that February and January happened. I went to New York City in February, which I completely forgot happened. There were a whole 2 months before quarantine. I went to New York City in February. That's besides the point. We'll get to that in a bit. Throughout the year, I did a lot of poetry writing, which was really fun. We did Escape Roll, the April Poetry Challenge, again, hosted by Savannah Brown, YouTuber and writer. Escape Roll, every single day for the month of April, I wrote a poem, just off the cuff, completely brand new, first draft, using prompts that Savannah Brown shares on the Escape Roll Instagram account, which was a lot of fun. I wrote a lot of new stuff. When you're doing those kind of things, when you're following following writing prompts and just going spur of the moment. Yes, it's good to go over and make sure that like you like what you wrote. You're not just writing garbage that you can't take pride in. Sometimes it's important to just put your art out into the world. It's important to just put yourself out there, and you can just correct and edit later. I also took a course in the fall of 2020, which was a creative writing course. I did a lot of prose fiction writing, which was a lot of fun. And then I did poetry writing for that too. I also picked up the kalimba. I've only released one video here on YouTube of me playing the kalimba. Honestly, it's quite relaxing. It's a really pleasant sounding instrument, and to just kind of pluck away at it. But I also did get into guitar. So you can see I have an acoustic guitar here. I really got into playing the acoustic in 2019. Near the end of 2020, I ended up picking up an electric. It's really nice. I've been messing around a lot. It's been a lot of fun to play with. I learned a couple stuff in ukulele too. I got a ukulele. With Harry Potter being postponed, I have decided to return to theater school for a second year. Theater school was postponed to start in January of 2021. So I've begun theater school as of filming this video. I've begun my second year. Knock on wood, we get to go back in person sooner than later with classes, which left my entire fall semester open. So what I did is I finished my university degree, and as far as I'm aware, at the point of time of filming this video, I've graduated. I have completed my bachelor's degree. Graduation itself is in the spring, so I have to wait till then to like officially say I've graduated and got my degree. But as far as I'm aware, I passed the last few classes and courses that I needed to take that I took in the fall, and I've got my degree, which is really exciting. That's another positive that came out of 2020. Another really exciting thing, we hit 1,000 subscribers. I think we're past 1,000 at the point of filming this video, and I want to say thank you all so much for all the support. I definitely am not as consistent here on YouTube as I would like to be, as is probably ideal to be, but I'm really grateful that all you folks watch these videos and you subscribe and you comment. I'm hoping to do more. Every year I give myself challenges to watch as many movies, as many plays, as much TV, read as many books, and play as many games as I can. Theater wasn't a lot of theater I watched this year. If you want to see what theater I watched, if you go to my Instagram profile, Bryce S. Fletch on Instagram, I do have a story highlight on my profile that shows you all the theater I saw in 2020. I did go to New York City in February. I did film a vlog for that trip. I haven't edited it though, because I don't know. It's a weird year. I might put it out though. If anyone's interested in seeing that, let me know in the comment section below. A pre-COVID travel vlog, if that's something that interests people. But while there, I saw a bunch of Broadway theater, which is really exciting. I saw a bunch of Toronto theater before everything shut down, which was really exciting. But once quarantine hit, I saw a little bit of online like screenings. I know Stratford and the National Theatre in England. They did a couple screenings, and I watched some of that. I watched Hamilton on Disney+, but I didn't watch a lot of theater this year. In 2020, I watched 45 movies. Hopefully, they're all on screen right now. Just so you can see like the movie posters. These are all the different movies I watched this year. I did watch more than 45, but when I keep track of the movies I watch in a year, I do my best to keep track of movies I've seen for the first time, which includes newer movies such as Wonder Woman 1984 or Disney Pixar Soul, but also includes older movies that I haven't seen in the past but that I finally saw now, which I really enjoyed, such as Blue Jay. Some of my favorites this year, let me pull up my list here. Oh, fun fact, the last movie I saw in the theaters was Sonic the Hedgehog. The last movie I saw in a movie theater was Sonic the Hedgehog. I miss movie theaters so much. I saw Tenet at a drive-thru one point in like October. So technically that was kind of going to see a movie in a theatrical release, but drive-thrus are fun, but they're different in their own unique experience. Okay, so my favorite movies I saw this year were Howl's Moving Castle, Blue Jay, Float was a phenomenal short film. Oh, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that was good. Oh, Burrow was a great short film too. I also did read a number of books. This year I read 42 different books. Keep in mind, when I say books, I'm also including things like plays or poetry collections. I include them in that 42. So if I read a play, I'm counting that as reading a book, because hey, some plays are published as their own books. Many of the books I read this year were digital PDFs. However, some of them were physical. So I would like to show you what those physical books were right now. Here are some of the books that I read, just to give you an idea. Also this year, I read Correct Me If I'm Wrong by Billy the Kid, a Dene Indigenous writer. Super talented. She's one of my favorite poets amongst my peers. I feel very grateful that I can refer to her as a peer. Keep an eye on her. She's gonna do some amazing things in the world of poetry. Yes, I recommend looking her up on Instagram is probably one of the best ways to connect with her on social media. Billy the Kid on Instagram. Great poetry. I usually don't watch a lot of TV in a year. However, this year, left a lot of time and availability to watch TV. So here's a list of the TV shows I watched. They're all on screen right now. The Good Place was one of my favorite shows I watched this year. I finally caught up with the Clone Wars. Down to Earth with Zac Efron was just, I don't know, it was really nice to see someone going somewhere, especially in like the middle of the year when it felt more hopeless than ever that we get to leave our homes. Sex Education, phenomenal show, highly recommend, excited for season 3. And I also really enjoyed the latest season of Umbrella Academy. And with getting into streaming, I played a lot of games. I think I did Nintendo has like your year in review, kind of like your Spotify year in review, but with Nintendo games. I played like 400 hours on my Nintendo Switch this year, which was insane. In 2019, I played like 90. Like I was a gamer, but I wasn't an avid gamer until this year. On many of those hours, I will admit, are from Animal Crossing. So here's a collection of some of the games that I beat this year. They're all on screen right now. Some of my favorites to note beating this year, I played The Last of Us for the first time this year. I loved it, and then I played Last of Us Part 2. Controversial take, but I also really liked Last of Us Part 2. I thought that game was phenomenal, and I think it deserved to win Game of the Year. A Short Hike was a phenomenally beautiful indie game. I ended up buying it a second time so that I could have it on my Nintendo Switch. Highly recommend you check it out if you're a fan of narrative and indie games. Night in the Woods is an amazing indie game, and I highly recommend people check out Night in the Woods. One of my favorite games I played this year. Beautiful, rich, deep, real gritty story that really pulls at you and makes you be so self-reflective and deeply introspective. Phenomenal game. Really recommend that one as well. I really like narrative-driven games. I really like playing games that have rich stories. You'll find me playing those a lot on stream sometimes. I mean, not every story is rich. And then games that aren't very narrative driven. I played a lot of Animal Crossing New Horizons with my friend Chandler and Sam. We would have many nights of just sitting on video calls and playing the game. I think it was a lot of people's quarantine game, what helped them get through the year. I also played a lot of Valorant. I've never really been a big first-person shooter person, but I really enjoyed the competitive scene and playing with friends. This year was tough for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. There was some really shitty people doing some really shitty things. So many people lost people they love this year. And on top of just like all this, there was the loss of people losing jobs, of people losing out on experiences, on people losing out on connections. 2020 was filled with a lot of loss, and I'm not saying that now that we're in a new year, snap, it's all gonna fix itself and go away. However, I'm optimistic that 2021 will be a slow rise. We won't get all the things that we had back. We won't get the people we had back. But as the year goes on, some of the things will return to us and we'll discover more things, if we haven't already discovered more things that we actually love even more. I had a classmate actually just today share that he had to work a new job, and it's through working this new job he discovered parts of himself that he didn't really know were there, or that he had hoped would be there someday. And it's because of having to change his entire life due to the pandemic and due to all the craziness that was 2020 that he discovered this part of himself. And I think that's so beautiful. This year fucking sucked a lot, but I hope that everyone can go into 2021 having gained something, that we didn't all just lose everything, that we all gained something, that we can go into the new year being like, you know what? Life isn't just shit. That even when there's lots of shit, there's still something to smile about and to feel fulfilled by. My resolutions going into 2021, this one I've carried over every year, and I think I'm going to carry it over for many years to come, and I hope you all carry it with me. Self-love, self-respect, and self-worth, prioritizing those things and knowing my own value as a person, as a friend, as a partner, just a person. We all have value. You have value. 2020 was tough. When you're down, when you're losing, I looked for reasons to be very negative and down on myself. Pushing forward into this year, I find more reasons to uplift myself, because I think we all deserve to feel uplifted. Something that I think is really important we all keep in mind, and something I want to keep going forward into the new year. Remembering that people who truly love you, people who truly care about you, and people who truly support you, it won't come with terms, it won't come with conditions, it won't come with backhanded manipulation or personal agendas and vendettas. Like, yeah, have a conversation with them about that and confront them on how they made you feel, especially after a conversation's been had. If they don't respect you, yeah, there are people who will. I promise you. I'm saying this as much to you as I am to like future me if I ever watch back and look on this video. Self-worth is defined by no one else other than yourself. Some like non-deep and just kind of fun resolutions. I want to leave my house and it be safe to do so. If that could happen some point this year, that'd be nice. I would love to hit 1,000 followers on Twitch. Maybe I'll hit 1,000 followers on Twitch in 2021. That would be super, super dope. I want to make some sort of career move this year. Until theater comes back, I don't really want to sit around and wait. I want to do something. Consistency on YouTube would be nice. I can't promise it. I say this every year. I have some videos. There's a video of my partner and I. We went to a cottage back in October. It's her and I. We went up, rented a cottage, stayed there for a few days. I've filmed a vlog about that. Might release that before everything got locked down again and when things were a little more safe to meet up with people. Some friends and I went to a mall and we found an Animal Crossing arcade machine. So I filmed that. That would be fun to release. Yeah, maybe that New York travel vlog from before everything shut down back in February. And then Twitch highlights. I might edit some highlights of Twitch streams and upload them to YouTube because those are fun. And there were some really funny moments that happen on Twitch. Normally I'd also say travel, but going outside the front door, that's step number 1. I would like to read 50 books this year. Will I watch 100 new movies? No, but I'm gonna ask and set that goal for myself again. Playing 20 new games would be cool. And then TV shows, I'm not gonna put any stakes on. I'm watching Queer Eye right now. That's really good. I really like Queer Eye. It's a good show. This video is much too long and I need to go eat some lunch before I pop back into my online Zoom classes. But I just wanna say thank you all again so much. Congrats to all of you for getting through this year. Hello 2021. Goodbye 2020. Bruh, who knows what's gonna happen next? Who knows what's gonna happen next? But I'm grateful to have you all along with me for the ride. See you all in the next video. Or on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. Okay, bye everybody.